My wife's anniversary dinner hit a shocking affair. The candles flickered on the dining table, casting a warm, golden glow across the room. It was our 10th anniversary, June 19th, 2025, and I'd spent weeks planning this dinner at La Bella Vita, a cozy Italian restaurant in downtown Seattle where Sarah and I had our first date. The scent of fresh basil and roasted garlic filled the air, mingling with the soft hum of jazz from a quartet in the corner. I adjusted my tie, feeling a nervous flutter, not unlike the one I'd felt a decade ago when I proposed to her under a sky full of stars. Sarah was late, again, but I brushed it off. She'd been distracted lately, buried in work, or so she said. I wanted tonight to be perfect, a chance to reconnect, to remind us of the love that had carried us through 10 years, a miscarriage, and the chaos of building a life together. I sipped my wine, a rich Cabernet, and glanced at my phone. No messages. The waiter, a young man with a kind smile, refilled my water glass for the third time, his eyes sympathetic. "She'll be here soon," I said, more to myself than to him. The restaurant buzzed with couples, their laughter and clinking glasses a stark contrast to the growing knot in my chest. Sarah's tardiness wasn't new, but tonight felt different. Her excuses had been piling up. Late nights at the office, vague client meetings, a sudden interest in weekend yoga retreats. I'd trusted her, chalking it up to her demanding job as a marketing director. But doubt, like a weed, had started to creep in. When Sarah finally arrived, 20 minutes late, she looked radiant. Her auburn hair fell in loose waves, and her emerald dress hugged her curves, catching the candlelight. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Sorry, babe," she said, sliding into the chair across from me. "Traffic was a nightmare, and then a last-minute call with the team." I nodded, wanting to believe her, but her phone, face up on the table, buzzed incessantly. She glanced at it, her fingers twitching, then flipped it over. "Work," she muttered, but her voice was too quick, too rehearsed. We ordered her favorite, shrimp scampi, and my usual chicken parmigiana. I tried to steer the conversation to us, to memories of our early days, like the time we got lost hiking in the Cascades and laughed until we cried. She nodded along, but her responses were short, her eyes darting to the window, the door, anywhere but me. "You okay?" I asked, reaching for her hand. She pulled back just slightly and tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. "Just tired, Ethan. It's been a long week." I swallowed the sting, telling myself I was overthinking. Then it happened. As the waiter cleared our plates, Sarah's phone lit up again, this time with a notification I couldn't ignore. A text preview flashed across the screen. "Miss you already? Last night was incredible." The sender's name was Alex, work, but the words hit me like a punch to the gut. My heart pounded, blood roaring in my ears. Sarah snatched the phone, her face paling, but not before I saw the guilt in her eyes. "It's nothing," she said, her voice cracking. "Just a colleague joking around." But the air between us had shifted, heavy with unspoken truths. "Who's Alex?" I asked, my voice low, steady, though inside I was unraveling. She laughed, a nervous, brittle sound. "Ethan, don't be ridiculous. He's just a guy from the creative team. It's work stuff." But her hands trembled as she clutched her wine glass. And I knew. I knew because I'd seen that look before. Not on her, but on my father, years ago, when he tried to explain away his own affair to my mother. The same forced smile, the same frantic denial. I didn't push, not yet. I paid the bill, my mind racing, and we drove home in silence, the city lights blurring past. Sarah stared out the window, her fingers twisting the hem of her dress. Back at our Capitol Hill apartment, with its exposed brick walls and shelves full of our shared history, photos from Paris, her pottery, my vinyl collection, I couldn't hold it in anymore. "Show me the texts," I said, standing in the living room, my voice calm but unyielding. She froze, her purse still in hand. "Ethan, you're blowing this out of proportion. It's nothing." "Then prove it," I said, stepping closer. "Show me." Her eyes welled up, and for a moment I thought she'd confess that we'd face this together. Instead, she clutched her phone tighter. "I don't have to prove anything," she snapped. "You don't trust me." That's when I broke. "I saw the text, Sarah. Miss you already? Last night? What the hell is that?" My voice rose, echoing off the walls. She flinched, tears spilling, but said nothing. Her silence was louder than any confession. The truth unraveled over the next week, piece by painful piece. I couldn't let it go. While Sarah was at work, I checked our shared iCloud account, something I'd never done before, but desperation drove me to it. There, in her deleted messages, were hundreds of texts between her and Alex, a graphic designer at her firm. They'd been meeting for months. Hotel rooms, late-night drinks, even a weekend trip she'd passed off as a conference. The messages were intimate, raw, a betrayal laid bare in emojis and late-night confessions. "I feel alive with you," she'd written. "Ethan's so predictable." Each word was a dagger, carving away the life I thought we had. I confronted her that night. The printed screenshots spread across our kitchen table like evidence in a trial. She didn't deny it this time. She sat, head bowed, tears dripping onto her lap. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "It just happened. I didn't mean to hurt you." But her apology felt hollow, a reflex rather than remorse. "Why?" I asked, my voice breaking. "What did I do wrong?" She looked up, her eyes red, and said, "You didn't do anything. I felt trapped. Work was overwhelming, and Alex, he made me feel seen." I wanted to scream, to shake her, to ask how 10 years of love could be undone by a fling. Instead, I walked away, needing air, needing space. The anniversary dinner haunted me. It wasn't just a cover-up for her affair. It was a performance. A lie served alongside shrimp scampi and wine. She'd planned to meet Alex later that night, texts revealing a hotel reservation for after our celebration. The thought of her smiling at me, toasting to our decade together while plotting her escape made my stomach churn. I saw every moment in a new light. Her late nights, her sudden gym obsession, the way she'd lock her phone when I entered the room. The clues had been there, but love had blinded me. We tried to talk in the days that followed, but the trust was gone, a shattered glass we couldn't piece back together. Sarah moved out to her sister's place, leaving behind her half of the closet and a note. "I need time to figure out who I am. I'm so sorry, Ethan." I didn't reply. I couldn't. Instead, I sat in our empty apartment, staring at our wedding photo on the mantel, her in white, me beaming, a moment frozen in a truth that no longer existed. Months later, I heard through mutual friends that Sarah and Alex had broken things off. She tried calling, leaving voicemails about regret and therapy, but I wasn't ready to hear them. The pain was still raw, a wound that throbbed with every memory of that dinner. I started rebuilding piece by piece, new routines, therapy of my own, nights with friends who reminded me I was enough. I even went back to La Bella Vita one evening alone and ordered chicken parmigiana. The taste was bittersweet, but I ate every bite, reclaiming the space her betrayal had tainted. The anniversary dinner was supposed to be a celebration, a milestone of love. Instead, it became the night I saw Sarah for who she'd become, a stranger hiding behind a smile. The hurt lingers, but so does the lesson. Love demands truth, and I'll never settle for less again. As I walked Seattle's rainy streets, the city's lights reflecting off puddles, I feel a quiet strength growing. The man I was at that dinner is gone, but the man I'm becoming knows his worth, and that's a victory no lie can take away.